All right, so we're back. Good Lord, how long have we been gone?
Feels like forever.
Been like 2 or 3 weeks, right? We apologize for being gone so much, but
I apologize for nothing.
it's just been busy, and with no Walking Dead, I know we need to get back to a regular schedule. We need to find something else to podcast about, and I feel like we'd get back in the routine because we don't skip when the Walking Dead's on.
Well, you just finished The Flash. How'd you enjoy that season 3?
I have my complaints, but overall,
that's rightfully so.
I still love the show. I think it's a great show. Well, spoilers ahead if you haven't caught up to The Flash yet. Cover thine ears, I guess. But I just wasn't a big fan of it being Barry was the bad, the time remnant of Barry. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like the show's been off enough that people have had, and it was on Netflix the day after it ended.
Oh,
so
dude, it was super fast. I really feel like Jay Garrick would have been a great because he got stuck in the time, the Speed Force because of Barry. You know, and he would have been there for what felt like an eternity. They described it as hell, so he probably would have went insane, had some vendetta, and realized, okay, you know what? Barry did this to me. It's all because of him. I don't know. But I liked it.
No, we've been discussing it most of the day.
I still give The Flash 2 thumbs up. I really enjoy it. Great show. It's very, it's just a fun show. It's very easy to sit back
2 angrily vibrating thumbs.
Right, yeah. Just don't touch you. I don't want to go through your chest, you know.
I'm sorry, but to me, you've been dead for centuries.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And speaking of The Flash and The Flash comics, Eobard Thawne on the last page is back.
Yeah.
He's waiting at the West residence.
Yeah. It was great because
tomorrow's Flash Day, isn't it?
It is. We get a Flash comic tomorrow.
Yeah. Barry was examining his body, and he's just whispering at him, "I know you're not dead. You just slowed down, pal. You're not fooling me."
And then the dude comes in, and it's like he was talking to a dead body.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, they're like, is that weird? Like, that's Barry Allen.
That's Barry.
It's not that weird.
I really like Grant Gustin as Barry. I do. I really like him. He's just a good. I think he's a good actor. I mean, he plays, and he's getting better. You're watching him grow up on the show and just become a better actor. My only complaint, they just should have dyed his hair blonde. Where are those luscious blonde locks?
Have you seen the Photoshop pictures of him with blonde hair and blue eyes?
No,
I mean, he would look like a Barry Allen.
So it would have worked,
different.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. He could pull off the blonde hair, blue eyes.
Why did they not do that? I mean, I'm sure it'd probably be a pain in the butt to have to constantly dye his hair and put in contacts.
And
I mean,
people
it's not
just don't like
film.
the blondes on TV, I guess. Not blonde guys. They usually get cast as a douchebag.
Hitler,
they do, don't they?
Yeah, generally if it's a blonde dude on TVs, yeah.
And frankly,
that's true.
I
get it. Seriously, though, are there any blonde? Because I don't know, man.
I mean, you think
right,
a lot of the blondes in movies and shows are cast as douchebags. They're the preppy, kind of bully type.
Where are all the gingers?
No one wants to see that.
Riverdale. Yeah, that show.
I haven't watched that.
I'm very sad because I grew up watching the Archie comics, reading the Archie comics. I guess you just stare at the page.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I grew up loving that stuff, and then they change into some kind of teeny bopper murder mystery supernatural thing, and not what I was into.
So this podcast, if you haven't figured it out, we're just going to kind of randomly talk for a little while. If you're up on pop culture, or just, I guess, not necessarily pop culture, but shows and entertainment, I'm sure we'll hit on something you watch or enjoy at some point through our next 30 minutes.
Just start talking about just random pop culture stuff. The Tonys, fidget spinners.
What's up with the fidget spinners?
Yep.
Which, hey, too bad you're not in this area because the comic shop next door has got some pretty sweet DC superhero fidget spinners.
They are, and I have purposefully not went over there since she got them
one?
because I will end up buying a Flash one.
It just surprisingly doesn't go faster than the others.
Well, in that case, I'm not going to buy the Flash one. Then what's the purpose?
They definitely should have put some heavier bearings or something to make the flashes go just a little bit faster.
I wonder how many times a day she has to deal with somebody saying that to her.
Oh,
Does
the
Flash one go faster than the other
I'm
ones?
sure I was the first one to say it to her, but only because I was one of the first people she told she ordered fidget spinners. So that's the only reason why. Because she's like, I just ordered some fidget spinners.
Set a precedent.
Right.
Now,
really good.
Matt, you told me in the season premiere of The Flash next year, we're going to see movie Justice League Flash interact with TV show Flash. You told me you knew that.
Are rumors abound that saying that at some point when he's in the Speed Force, they will have a clip of the Justice League movie in the Speed Force. So not to say that he will meet Ezra Miller personally, the guy playing the Flash in the movies, but they will show a clip from Justice League. So that's another universe that's out there somewhere of their 52 Earths or whatever that are in their thing.
Wow.
So they're kind of toying with that idea. There's people working on the first episode, producers and whatnot. It all depends if they can get the rights to the movie.
That'll be interesting. Well, they said the same thing with like the Marvel universe. It'd be really cool if they would like you have the two Quicksilvers meet, which I know Quicksilver's technically dead in a way, but I mean he could still be alive in the Marvel universe. But you know, in the X-Men universe, like the Fox universe, you know, he's still alive and well.
Yeah, the one in Marvel, he was shot numerous times and then was on a big rock that plummeted into the ground. Did they take his body with them, or did they leave it there?
I don't know, honestly. I love the MCU. I love it. I think it's wonderful. But like of all the movies that I've watched I've watched Civil War multiple times. I know I've watched like all the Iron Mans multiple times. I have only seen Age of Ultron in theaters, and that's it. I watched the first Avengers many times. I don't know why. It's not that I don't like it. It's a great movie.
It was just kind of more of the same, you know. It's like the first Avengers. You know, aliens are invading. The second one, oh, now it's robots. Let's kill a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
It was, I liked it too, but it just felt like more of the same.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Has anyone seen Wonder Woman yet?
No, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Exactly. I want to see why it's so good because everybody talks. I read about it. It's amazing. People love it, but I'm not really understanding why it's so good. Is it because the story, the acting, the CGI,
a guy that works with my girlfriend said the reason why he thought it was so good because I don't know that I don't know I know a girl that said that she thought it wasn't all it was cracked up to be at all. She said, not myself. She said that she thought that they had only given it such a good rating because it was the first female superhero movie really in today's modern age. But also a guy that my girlfriend works with said that he absolutely loved it. And the reason why he loved it is because it had a lot of really good action, that it had its sad moments, that it had its, kind of shocking moments, that it was one of those like complete tales that had a little something of everything. Like you were shocked at some parts, you were sad at some parts, the action got you all riled up. It's funny. It has its comedy. So he said it's just a very well-rounded movie, whereas, Suicide Squad had like
I can understand
one or two of those.
I can understand your female friend saying that she thinks that they're only saying it's good because of the first female hero, but that doesn't explain all of the people going to see the movie. Like I can imagine critics, producers, stuff being like, "Yeah, it's an amazing movie," not saying it's because it's a female-driven movie or whatever. But there's so many crappy people in the world that people don't have to say it's a great movie. They only say it's a great movie because they like it.
I'm not discussing political correctness.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I feel like it could be in any other situation. I feel like she could be right by saying they're only saying it's good because it's a woman-driven movie. But I think that it wouldn't. Nowadays, people don't hesitate to shit on something. So if they don't like it, they won't go see it. But people are going to see this in like droves. So it's got to be good based on more than just the fact that it's a female-driven movie.
I think we should all make a point to see it by next week, and then we'll do our own little review.
That would be cool.
Little recapage.
Yeah, I'll probably go see it this week.
I need to go see it.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was amazing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Awesome. I don't know if we've talked about that. We talked about it on the radio. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. But I loved it, man. I thought it was better than the first one, to be honest. I really, really liked it. I didn't like the soundtrack as good as I liked the first one, but I know why they did it. Because the soundtrack to the first one was more upbeat because it's Star-Lord's like happy-go-lucky personality, whereas the soundtrack to the second one's following more of the storyline of like his mom and his dad and their time. So I get it, but I'm not a big folk fan. So
I was at 70. Yeah,
I like more the upbeat.
The first one was more
Star-Lord's
70s.
awesome mix.
Yeah.
But with that said, the movie itself I think it's the best opening scene like in any Marvel movie to date.
Absolutely. Oh God, I was just geeking out during the opening scene. Have you not seen it?
No, I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I thought the opening scene to that movie was amazing. Yeah. I loved it. It's one of those movies that I genuinely see. That's what someone that was to ask me why is it so good. I could say, well, from the start to the very end, I enjoyed it. I never got bored. I never felt like it was dragging. It never just had a point where you weren't sucked in. It was funny. It had really cool action. The characters on that are so good too. Like the raccoon, man, Rocket is just so like you just feel for this little raccoon.
Oh, Bradley Cooper does so many great things with his voice.
Groot just says like 3 words, and we still love him. And that's actually, here's a cool fact if you didn't know, Vin Diesel, they actually didn't have to pitch shift his voice too much for that. He actually got his voice high as hell to do that. Huh. And they only had to pitch it up just a little bit to get the baby I am Groot, but he had it pitched up very high on his own.
That Vin Diesel, man. He does a little bit of everything, doesn't he?
Kurt Russell, good Lord. That's the best thing he's been in quite a while.
Oh, including The Hateful Eight?
Oh, I was going to say, I haven't seen Hateful Eight.
I love that too.
Okay.
I still haven't seen it. I really want to.
He's the next Matthew McConaughey. He's the Kurt. What do you instead of the McConaissance? What would you call it? The Russell. I'll think of it for a little while. I'll think of it. But he's making a comeback.
He's
yeah. I like that a lot better.
Yeah, I like Kurt Russell. I mean, I'm a huge Tombstone is like my third favorite movie of all time, and though Val Kilmer's portrayal of Doc Holliday was absolutely what made that movie as iconic as it was, I really feel like it pulls attention away. People forget to say Kurt Russell was a badass Wyatt Earp. You know, I mean, like if you were to not focus, because he actually was so impressed with Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday because he helped like write it or produce it or something, and he actually cut a lot of his screen time so that Doc could have even more screen time. So he thought, wow, this Val Kilmer's just kicking ass in this role. But I thought Kurt Russell, he's just a great actor. And actually, what was it when Walt Disney died? He left did he leave a letter to Kurt Russell, or he left something with Kurt Russell's name on it?
Interesting.
I've never heard that.
I was watching Gilligan's Island reruns a couple of months back, and there was a boy that swings in, right? And who is it? It's a young Kurt Russell.
I like you had to preface that with reruns because we're like, oh, there's new episodes of Gilligan's Island on?
I don't want anyone to get that false hope and then have it. I don't want to be the one to do that to you.
That 3-hour tour turned into a 30-year tour.
But yeah, Kurt Russell was actually on Gilligan's Island too.
I didn't know that. The Globetrotters were too.
Yeah.
Harlem Globetrotters.
I'm surprised Scooby-Doo didn't drop in there for one of
them. Was like maybe an animated? But yeah, I think they had an animated one with the Skipper and Gilligan.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they used to have
these. I just said that joking.
I'm serious, man. They used to have a. Ow, dude, that was my back. That was a water glove. Thank you. No, because they used to have this hour-long Scooby-Doo cartoon, and there was different, like Batman and Robin were on there. The Three Stooges.
I do remember Batman and Robin. Which, speaking of Batman, we lost Adam West, which is really sad. I just love him on Family Guy.
I know that. We were just saying that's like 2 voices within 6 months, and I wonder how many kids only know him from Family Guy and have no idea, because I don't even think they ever made a reference to the fact that he was Batman on Family Guy.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. To
be
honest,
did they ever make a Batman joke?
If they did, it's definitely not something they used to harp on. That this is I mean, they might have said TV's Adam West, but they didn't say Batman.
Right.
My dad's got an original clock, like when he was a kid, and it's the original Adam West, Batman and Robin. JP, you'd probably love this thing.
Dude,
it's the original Batman and Robin, and like basically they're running and behind them is the Batmobile. I don't know why they're not in the Batmobile, but the Batmobile's behind them, and then the clock itself is like the bat signal or whatever. And then like the alarm is when it hits, it has the thing, but it also somehow makes that noise for certain things.
Man.
And it's like I said, he's still got it. I need to say, I'll get a picture of it this weekend and show it to you.
I would love to see that.
It's sweet. Really, yeah, he had it from when he was a kid.
He did a really good descriptive.
Did you see it?
That I could in my head. It was just like reading a book.
It smells like dust. I gave you the sound, the sight. Now I gave you the smell.
Don't give me the taste. Don't give me the taste.
It feels like hard plastic.
Okay, I think we're done here.
It tastes like Old Attic.
There we go.
Now you actually have.
Have you ever tried an Old Attic? Do you know what it tastes like?
Yeah,
it's musty with a.
People frown on it, but attic licking is the thing.
People frown upon it.
So let's see here.
What else? Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead. Spoiler alerts if you haven't watched it at all.
I haven't watched it.
Cover your ears.
You haven't heard anything about it?
You haven't heard? Really?
No, I mean,
oh wow!
Do you care if we ruin it for you right now?
I mean, I don't
please
know
let us ruin this.
You're not going to go back and ruin it.
You didn't like it.
Watch it.
You didn't like it.
I liked it.
I mean, I'm going to go back and watch the season because my dad. All right, so last year,
I kind of want to see the point build up to this point that just happened.
We were at the beach, right, and I had watched the first 2 or 3. Is when we did podcast at one point about Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
and I had watched the first few, and I had fallen off. And my dad told me, he was like, seriously, not just like to rub it in your face, but as soon as you quit watching, it started getting really good. Like he said, the ending of last season was awesome.
Interesting.
And this season I've heard so far has been okay. But JP, plug your ears at least so we can do this.
If you don't want to hear this,
because we're going to talk about
you need to step out of the room for a little bit.
I need to make water. Let me go make water.
Right, you go make water, and we're going to.
Does that mean you have to pee, or are you literally going to make water? Are you going to get water from the fountain because
you have water from a different fountain?
You have a power set.
Are you getting water?
Why are you undoing your belt? Okay.
Are you getting water from the fountain or the hose?
I guess he's going to pee. Wow! Wait till you get to the bathroom before you take your pants off. I've never seen a grown man do that.
Really?
No.
You have not lived life.
I mean, the bathroom is a good.
I mean, granted,
it's around the corner.
If I were you, I wouldn't take my pants off around you either. I don't know.
I've never seen his ass
until now.
It's really hairy.
I had my back to it.
Yeah, it's
really, we better say this before he comes back.
Really hairy and
big
flat.
shake up on Fear the Walking Dead.
Travis.
Whoa.
And I thought it was kind of a stupid death too. I mean, for such. I mean, I'm sure
very unexpected.
One thing I got to learn. You hear me go. A lot. It's because I know no matter what I say, someone's going to argue against it. So I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. If you don't like it, fucking deal with it. I don't like to use the F word, but I just get tired of trying to watch what I say because I'm so worried it's going to be against someone's opinion. I thought the death sucked. Honestly, Travis, yes, I understand. And like you said, they really only killed him because the actor himself wanted off the show, which was the same case for Dale back in season 1 of The Walking Dead. Dale wanted to leave with Frank Darabont because they had collaborated a lot, and I guess they were kind of BFFs.
Now?
And Sasha, yeah, maybe she wanted out because she wanted to do the Star Trek. I don't know why you would want out of. Well, I guess you get tired of the same old thing. But then again, you're on like the biggest show,
right? But if you've got the money and money's not an option, then you want it's your job. Like you don't want to be in one position for like 5 or 6 years. You want to move up the ladder,
and you'll always have that. Right. I mean, God knows people from the Power Rangers are still doing Comic Cons, so you'll still always be Sasha from The Walking Dead.
And I found out about that though. Apparently. Like they have to pay to go to those Comic Cons. Okay, like so for instance, here's 2 examples. Dean Cain, who was Superman from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. He hosted that Ripley's Believe It or Not or whatever, and Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters and all that. Both of them go to a lot of Comic Cons and a lot of conventions, stuff like that. But they have to pay to have booths there.
Oh,
so
really?
You pay they pay like $1,000 or something to have their booth there. That's the reason that they charge people for autographs and stuff like that.
So I wonder, like the big celebrities.
The big celebrities, they have the money to buy that, but their production company, a lot of times, whatever movie they're touring. So like with Andrew Lincoln and all those guys,
right?
AMC buys
so
like not just a table.
Personally have to do it. The company does.
Yeah, well, and like the convention comes to them is like, we want your group to come to our convention this year. So a lot of times they don't have to pay for it because the convention's getting people to come out to see them doing it.
So it's very much like a trade show.
Absolutely.
You know, when you have the big, it's a trade show. It's kind of like a Comic Con for businesses in a way. Yeah. So so it works very similar. I did not know that.
And that is so don't be mad if you have to pay $30 or $40 for an autograph from a celebrity who you liked 15 or 20 years ago.
Right.
But they haven't done anything recently. It's because they have to make money somehow.
I did not know that. Wow. It makes you kind of rethink the whole, wow, he's charging for autographs. What a jerk.
And it makes you think celebrities aren't nearly, people on TV and movies aren't nearly as loaded as you think they are.
No.
It accounts for like 2%. It's a very small number. 1 or 2% of the actors in Hollywood are like high-paid actors.
Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson,
Jesus,
rich.
Dude, I want to be in his freaking position because he makes, like, they didn't really have contracts for the first Iron Man. They didn't know that Marvel was going to blow up like it did.
Right.
So he and his contract is like every single movie I get a production value.
Yeah.
I get merchandise money. I get money from this, and they had to basically every other actor. They were like, we got to cap you off.
Right.
Like, He set a precedent.
It's kind of like buying stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and look how it paid off. But before JP comes back and we ruin it for him, JP, plug your ears across the room.
Sing something. Sing something from
Hello
Dolly.
Pants up. Up.
Pull your pants up and sing something from Hello Dolly.
I was just reading a really awful article about
he's coming back in the room.
He's lost his hair and he's lost his money.
Well, we're going to get ready to talk about that death again. So
yeah, and I'll tell you about Brendan Fraser, though. Fraser.
But first, cover your ears.
Yeah, cover your ears. Real quick. Sing something from Hello Dolly and cover your ears.
Hello.
No, all the way. Cover. Okay, he's good.
All right. Yeah, I just thought Travis's death was just a little lackluster. I mean, you know what I mean?
It played out too long. Like it was 3 or 4 minutes. And I understand you're trying to grasp it, but it should have been a quick, like, oh crap, oh no,
right?
Done.
Yeah,
it should have been like long stares. Like him and that girl stared at each other for 4 minutes. It felt like.
You're right. It definitely needs to be either just like so sudden, like with Denise with the arrow through the eye, where you're like, whoa,
exactly.
Yeah, and
no
just
time to
shock
register.
value. You know, it's kind of how Abraham was in the comics. You know, with the arrow, just like you're just like, oh, did they just kill Abraham?
Yep.
Or you need to make it more dramatic. You know what I'm saying? More like, you know. But anyways, I was very shocked to see they started it out shaking it up.
It did. It just like you said, they pulled it out too long. It should have been shot in the neck. Like, oh God, realization what happened. You're still realizing as a viewer. Watch him open the door. You know what he's going to do because he's a freaking hero. He's gonna dispatch of himself.
Right.
So, like you said, really good idea. Just kind of they milked it too long.
Right.
Because it has to last for 44 minutes or whatever. But yeah, and I like that they did it at the beginning of the episode, so you get to watch the aftermath throughout the episode.
Right. You don't have to wait till next week to see how they're going to deal with it. All right. So we would just just talking about
beautiful voice, by the way.
Yeah.
That would be really funny. So we were just talking about how Blank died from.
I was trying to think of another character, but I just don't. I was about to say we were just talking about how
Salazar. No, who was the dude who died at the end of the first season? The guy in the fire.
Oh, Daniel. They say may be coming back.
How?
I don't know. We didn't see him die. He just was in the place
Abigail. The Abigail died.
I don't remember.
The boat.
Died,
that was the boat. It died.
Mm-hmm.
It was dead during the.
So Brendan Fraser, he's bald now. Tell us a little bit about Brendan Fraser.
So he's been on hard times recently. I bet he's happy that The Mummy is
not doing good without him.
Because I hope somebody in that studio, in that boardroom, was like, "Why don't we bring Brendan Fraser back?"
Oh, we'd love it.
Well, I heard they dropped an Easter egg that connects it to the book of movies.
The book of Imhotep. Or
you read that while you were peeing?
Yeah, man. He's a quick reader and a slow peer.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. But no, Brendan Fraser pays about $500,000 a month in child support.
Good God!
Because California, when it comes to alimony and stuff, California doesn't mess around. Like if you are the man in a relationship and you get divorced, your ex-wife is getting most of the money. Like that's just the way it is in California. Mm-hmm. And he pays a lot of money, and they keep trying to like get the court to overturn it or whatever, but to the point where he's getting dicked over. Like he's getting way too much money taken out of his checks.
But why isn't he working?
I mean,
maybe he's just done. There
was a big thing that I read about. One of the things is he's apparently that's funny. No, because Bedazzle was after Monkey Bone. And Bedazzle was better. Like Bedazzle was great. I thought that was his coming
Elizabeth
back.
Hurley. Bedazzle. With Elizabeth Hurley.
The remake of it was I think what was the original called with Dudley Moore and he was the devil. He gives him a bunch of wishes.
No kidding. I didn't realize that so he had been gone for a while when he. He
had been gone for like few years from movies.
Wow, I didn't realize it had been that way. Yeah, I
did a couple other movies, went out for a little while, came back again, did that Furry Vengeance, and that movie did not do well. It was like a construction worker who's trying to plow the forest and the animals
he was also George of the Jungle, right?
Man,
so many good
Encino Man, right? Encino Man, George of the Jungle. So a lot of it, I've read some stories up on him because I liked Brendan Fraser.
I did too, man. Yeah.
Apparently, he's like Hollywood's nice guy. So like he doesn't. They said that in a lot of meetings and a lot of things when he would get taken advantage of.
Right.
And being a pleasant, nice person that he is, he wouldn't try to ruffle feathers, and he's not that cutthroat. So there were times people just took advantage of him. He's by no means is he doing awful.
Nice guys finish last.
Right. He's definitely not in his golden years anymore. But I wish him the best. There's a big movement on Reddit trying to get Brendan Fraser to.
I loved Brendan. I mean, he was one of those. He was one of those when I was a kid, man. Genuinely, genuinely everything he was going to be in. Even as a kid, I wanted to see it. Remember Encino Man?
Oh my God, dude, such a good movie.
One of the few times we tolerated Pauly Shore.
Dude, Pauly Shore had a run in the Army Now. What was it? Jury Duty.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Jury Duty.
Milk Money, Son-in-Law.
Biodome.
I never saw Biodome.
You never saw it.
Never saw it. I'm not a. The Alec Baldwin's the only Baldwin that I like. I don't care for any of the other Baldwins.
You should really see Biodome. That's all I'm going to say.
If you say so.
I agree you need to see it. I wasn't a huge fan, but you definitely need to see it.
Purple Sticky Punch.
You're going to make me.
But dude, Pauly Shore, probably my favorite two movies he was in were In the Army Now and Encino Man.
I think Biodome. Oh, we're talking about Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah, Biodome was my favorite.
I just love that. What was it in the Army Now where it's like pull pin, something, it's been so long. I can't remember. Pull pin, something, throw grenade. And he's like, okay, pull grenade, throw pin. Yeah. Just drops the grenade and throws the pin.
They're at the officer's desk trying to sign into the Army, get the bonus or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, we're ready to, they keep doing like all the slogans from the different military branches. And he's like, oh, no, gentlemen, we're be all you can be. And he's like, in the Army.
I like when it was like, what was it? They were trying to pretend they were gay so that they didn't have to serve. And it's like, okay, well, we just need proof. You guys kiss. Mm-hmm. They're like, Man, that was funny as a kid. What was the farm
and that wouldn't fly nowadays. No, like, holy crap, the shitstorm that would cause nowadays.
What was the farm one?
Son-in-Law.
Was it Son-in-Law? Mm-hmm. I remember that wasn't too awful.
The girl meets him in college, and then she's like, I don't know, she's not pregnant or something, but she has to convince them that that's her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Or something, or that they got married. I don't know, something like this. He has to go back, city boy in the farm or whatever.
Whenever I have a down day, my slogan is a John LaJoie song from, what is it, Everyday Normal Guy, mm-hmm. where he's like, I'm the Pauly Shore of everyday life. I'm easily forgettable, and I'm not very liked.
I know he hasn't done movies in a while, but he's doing okay. His parents own, they owned the Comedy Store. in California.
Pauly Shore's
and now
parents
he
did?
runs it.
Oh, okay.
Because they passed on or something like that. They sold him, but he runs it now.
Now,
and
what
he
is the
makes
Comedy Store? I don't even know what that is.
It's one of the most famous stand-up clubs in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's been around longer than a lot of comedy clubs, and a lot of big famous names have went there, and they still do like nightly shows and stuff.
Do they write a rule though that Pauly Shore can run it, but he's not allowed to get on stage?
Funny. I imagine he's probably like, screw it, I just could sit here and do nothing. I'll make a bunch of money.
He was on like Wildin' Out or something years ago, and he went up and they were doing the freestyle style battles. And the whole point is to insult each other creatively, and like, I don't know, and even if it was part of the routine, I don't get why they would have wrote it in, because it was very stupid. Like, he walked off stage because they hurt his feelings and they had to go console him, and YouTube, it's cringeworthy. Even if they say, well, that was scripted, it still was very
what was
cringeworthy.
the point of cringe?
Right, like, what was the point of that? Like, he walks out, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore, and he like walks off and he's upset, and they have to go, man, we're just playing,
Weeds
like,
in the juice.
Did you see that awful documentary he did? It was like Pauly Shore goes to Africa and he's walking around this village like, I'm trying to adopt a kid, and the native people are like, you're what? You want to take our child? That's not an African accent, but
that was terrible.
Yeah. That was I mean, well, do that again. Just try that one like you did it.
You want to take our children?
So
you've been watching the Black Panther trailer too much.
What are they, Russian? You want to take our children?
You want to take our children? You do not have the papers.
Italian, Russian,
maybe almost Greek a little bit in there. What are you doing? Why do you put that there?
Hey, let my kid where it is. Put that back.
Then Pauly Shore's like, yeah, to give it a better life, and then the African's like, give it a better life. What's wrong with his life? He has a nice life.
That
makes me sad. That's sad.
Maybe they were just like, I don't care that you're white. I just don't want them to go with Pauly Shore.
Right, like anybody else. Alec Baldwin, somebody. Have you seen on YouTube, there's this channel where this guy, I thought about it, I watched the video yesterday and you were doing the voices, where the guy does the African, basically what he does is he has like a packet, I don't know what the program will be called, but it basically goes through packets. So like if you connect to the internet and you're playing Call of Duty and you connect to a lobby, it like is a detector or something. Like basically it'll go through and tell you everybody's IP address, and from that you can get people's names, numbers. He does this. He does this African voice, like a straight up African drug lord.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and what he'll do is he'll get on there when people start talking crap to him, because he'll get on there and be like, "Hello," and then people, of course, being the little 12-year-old douchebags that play Call of Duty nowadays,
where you from,
they're gonna be like, "You sound like a dummy," blah blah blah, and he'll be like, "Your name is Justin Lloyd. You live blah 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 here and blah blah blah," and they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
I know, it's so, because they're always like, "Yo, what are you talking about?"
Funny, man. Like,
yo, what?
He has one where he tells this kid, the guy's like, "I did your mama," like in his voice. And he's like, "You do not talk about my mother." And then he's like, "I'll give you one chance, one opportunity to basically like apologize." And the kid's like, "Go screw yourself," or whatever. And then he's like, "Your name is Daniel whatever." And the guy's like, "Do what?"
And in the background,
you are from, what is it, Saskatchewan or Ontario or something? And the kid's like, "How did you know that?" And he was like, "Do you want to apologize?" And the kid's like, "I'm sorry."
Because like when they're talking shit, he's in the background going,
yeah, they're like
chanting, and she's like, "What is he talking about?" He comes like, "I do not." Yeah, that's so funny. Do not talk about my mother.
The last one that I saw, he takes it a step further, and not only does he get this kid's like name and address, but he also finds his phone number and calls him. And
that's so freaking funny.
They keep kicking him out of the party, and he keeps joining back. Like, "Yo, I kicked him," and then he comes back. So then he gets a number, and he's like, "Hello," and the kid's like, "Oh my god,
that's so funny."
Can you imagine? Like, with the sad thing, the difference though, these kids actually didn't talk any crap. Like basically, he added him. He was like, can I join your party?" And they were like, "Yeah." So he sent him an invite, and he was like, "Do you want to make a deal with the devil?" And then the kid's like, "No, I'll pass." And then he kept going, so they booted him. But, oh, man, if you just find that.
Oh, I want to see that. That's really funny.
It's like African. If you just YouTube it or Google, African something.
Witch Doctor voice.
On
or
Call
like
of
Witch
Duty.
Doctor, Call of Duty.
Yeah, Witch Doctor maybe. It's funny as hell, man.
It is. And he explains later on in videos how he does it, and how like this is messed up that you can easily. It's
super easy.
It's super easy to be able to figure out someone's information if they have it out there.
Yeah.
Like one little thing from their IP address, you can find out so much.
Now you have to download something. It used to be a little bit easier, but that's way back in the day.
Which was 2007. By the way,
it was a Wednesday, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Wednesday. Was that old Dane Cook?
Yeah. Oh man, remember back when he was funny?
Yep.
No.
Now I watch.
No, I don't ever remember.
JP, you liked him back in the day. Don't play. Yes, you did.
Dude.
I love Dane Cook.
What happened?
Back in the day. What was it? My main problem with his comedy is like when you're telling me a story, tell me a story. Like he gets way too out there. So he'll start off telling you a story about the time someone sneezed on him in an elevator, but 30 minutes later, you're still being told this story. But he's in a side story about how some girl's vagina looked janky, and you're like, get back to the damn, how he used a remote as a dildo or something.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, get back to your story. I want to know what happened. But yeah, I like Dane Cook back in the day. I think like his first DVD was really, really funny, and then But I did watch something recently by him that was actually pretty damn funny. I mean, he makes terrible movies, no doubt, but
I hope him and Brendan Fraser are like keeping each other company.
It's just a day of it's like the island of lost misfits for actors and comedians.
But no, seriously, we need to do something for Brendan Fraser. We need to do something.
JP's thing. We just leave Dane Cook where he is.
Dane Cook.
But no, the next podcast we'll do it all about resurrecting Brendan Fraser. We could use that Book of the Dead.
He's not
from the
dead,
Mummy.
JP.
We could still resurrect him.
Oh my God.
We'll kill him.
But then wouldn't you bring like an evil clone of himself?
So between now and next podcast, we're going to kill JP. I mean, Wait, are we going to kill JP or Brendan Fraser?
I'm not going to answer yes to either one of those.
That was a Freudian slip.
Evidence.
That was my subconscious coming out. Like I didn't mean to say JP, but it just came out saying we're going to kill JP, and I wonder if that's my inner thoughts trying to tell me something.
Oh, absolutely.
I would never kill you.
Getting
JP.
a little uncomfortable.
Ever since JP pulled his pants down halfway to the bathroom, Matt's just ready
wanted
to
to be
kill him.
ready when I got there.
You know how I know you need a new butt?
A new butt?
Yeah, you know how I know you need a new one? Because your old one's got a crack in it. Hey!
I didn't know where that was going.
Very hairy butt. I wouldn't have imagined you having such a hairy rumpus.
Like your butt looks like my face.
And that's really hairy.
Yeah, really hairy.
Well, I
don't
mean,
look directly into it. It will blind you. His butt, not my face.
No.
You have about a good 10-second safe zone, but after that, your retinas just start frying.
It's like looking at the sun for too long, and you get that little dot in your eye that won't go away.
I wish I had the heart. I just wanted to be like, so were you sad that so-and-so died?
Dude, I really want to bring that back up.
No, I'm eventually going to go back and rewatch.
Yeah,
so,
like
but
next
you're going to
year.
avoid the internet and everything?
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of it on the internet.
Hey, I did pretty good with The Flash. Like, I made you two sit in
is true.
another room to talk about it when you saw it before I did, and I just avoided any article that I could find that said anything about The Flash because I wanted it to be a mystery right up until
And I'll just let you know,
Savitar reveal.
I have never tried harder to not to watch my words when I'm talking about like a TV show or anything like that. Like I have never tried harder than the past like 2 weeks.
The one thing you said that didn't spoil it but made the most sense in hindsight was when you said a lot of the things that they say and a lot of the things he says will be apparent when the reveal, and it does, like the way he said I'm the future Flash and the way he was like I know everything you do. Like a lot of that, it's like it does. Like I said, I thought it was a cop out that it was a time remnant of him. But with that said, taking that away, it is pretty cool that the threat of going up against someone who every time you formulate a plan, they now know of the plan.
Yeah.
Like how do you on your own beat someone like
And Justin and I were talking about this morning, JP, I want from, because I don't know if you knew this or not. So I thought that the time remnant, why does my headphone not allow me to, there we go. I thought the time remnant was the one that he used, that he created to kill Zoom.
Season 2, yeah.
Right. But apparently it's just one time remnant that remained because he...
with Savitar, a battle with Savitar in the future.
But that Savitar is the time remnant.
Right. That's why it's a paradox. It's just a that's what
Like, that is so
Cisco
freaking
described
confusing.
it as a loop. It's a closed loop. Like basically, he battles Savitar in the future. This is long after Iris has died and everything. And then because that was one of those first things him and Cisco talked about. Cisco's like, you used several time remnants, and he says specifically Savitar killed nearly all of them, but the one that he left ended up being, and it was very confusing because he had a burnt face, and you saw the burning with the. But I knew the one from the battle with Zoom had gotten just like burned. Was gone.
See, I thought because the same thing when Barry disappeared into the Speed Force, when that yellow energy hit him and he just disappeared. That's what I was like. Oh shit! So that's what happened to the time remnant. He didn't die. He just dissolved into the Speed Force.
So today's been a revolution for Matt because when I got here, I was talking about it, and I was like, what he should have done is figure out a way to go to the future and tell himself to not use time remnants against Savitar, and then he would never have been created. But Matt thought it was the time remnant from season 2. So when we were talking about it and we looked it up, and it was that Savitar it just like to now, Matt, the finale is like a whole new finale. So you got to kind of relive the finale again.
I mean, I think if Iris had have just seduced him after he captured her, because that's why he was so pissed off, because Iris wanted the real Barry and not Time Remnant Barry.
You think about the idea of time remnants. That is kind of bullshit, though. Like, you create a life, basically, with your memories and feelings and everything to pretty much die in service of you.
Did you say Iris seduce him?
Yeah, when he captures Iris, before HG goes and rescues her, HR, whatever.
H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells. Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
Worlds, yeah.
But no, I mean, she should have seduced him, and he would have been fine.
That's why when he had those books, like when he went to the future, and HR is an author, and it said H.R. Wells, I was like, I bet there'd be some copyright infringement there if he was a real author, selling with H.R. Wells, H.G. Wells. But no, I don't know. I really liked it. I mean, I love the show, but
it was definitely, you built it up. They build it up so much about this amazing reveal, and then it's just very lackluster.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's a show I'm going to stick with. The next season's going to be good. It's going to be the first non-speedster villain,
right?
And really excited. We have a couple of ideas of how it may start.
Yeah,
but
we're never right on that. Exactly. We always come up with these super awesome ways. We just need to write shows, dude. Like, we come up with these super awesome ways of like we came up with a really cool way of how Negan could kill Maggie. And blah 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 blah.
When you said Negan, in my head I heard Savitar, and I was thinking, how could Savitar kill Maggie?
He does travel through time and dimension, so he could jump into the Walking Dead world, and
I would hate that.
And he could kill like every zombie.
Rick's
on
trying
the
to have
planet.
like a 5-minute speech to Savitar, but he's like killed her in like 1 second.
So here's my question: Savitar, okay, he was crazy fast. Yeah. The suit protected him. She does say that on the thing. This physicist talks about the way the light reflected off of the suit. She says the suit protects him from basically just like the charges.
Like
frying
he would
him.
explode. Yeah.
But how did that Barry get so fast? Did he just train and train and train? I mean, how did he get that fast while regular Barry is not?
He's a man at a time. He's had thousands and thousands of
and he was
years
stuck in the speed force.
to become faster and faster.
I don't know. Time travel's a fickle bitch.
It is. And that's how you describe away everything, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what happened to everything? Oh, time travel.
Well, in comics, that's how they'll do it, too. It's like, oh, we killed this character, but never fear, here's Rick and Morty. It's like, never fear, here's an exact world.
Multiple Earths, yeah.
That matches everything to a T, only everything turned out good. Let's live here. Yeah. That's another thing, too, as we wrap up. I just recently got into Rick and Morty. I don't know what took me so long, and man... You've got to watch that show if you don't.
Yeah, it's a good show. That'd be good to touch on next podcast.
Yep, we'll talk a little bit about Rick and Morty.
To touch on things, man.
Well, you should be better about being touched.
That is true. I'll work on it. You're right.
All right, I'm going to let you two touch each other while I wrap this thing.
What? No, he was saying that I'm going to get touched. Well, I'm not doing the touching.
Okay, well, JP.
We'll figure it out.
Damn it.
There's Matt. Do your thing.
Go ahead and wrap it up, and then we'll insert.
No butt stuff, please.
I knew that when I said wrap it up, there was going to be like an anal sex joke there somewhere. Yeah. All right, well, we'll see you next week. We promise.
Really productive podcast.
We'll be back next week. I'm stretching, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Both of you have been playing footsie with me. I don't know where to go right now. I'm sorry.
We'll be back next week to discuss Rick and Morty and any developments. We'll probably have all seen Wonder Woman at that point, so we can give our opinion on it. Is there anything else?
I have off this week. I have Sunday off. You guys want to go?
Oh, okay.
See Wonder Woman.
I'm working one Sunday.
God dang it,
JP!
What time?
You ruin everything.
What time do you go into work on Sunday?
3.
What days are you off this week?
You want to see before 3?
If there's like a noon showing, yeah.
If there's a noon showing, let's go see that.
I'm down.
We'll figure it out.
We'll go see it. Yeah. And Alien Covenant, before we go, the two movies you have seen since we talked last, JP.
Oh, man,
quick reviews, Alien Covenant and Pirates of the Caribbean. What do you think?
I loved them both.
Both great, worth seeing?
Yeah, I mean, Pirates was just basically a retread of the original, but it was still enjoyable.
Which one between the two? If people can only see one of them, which one would you prefer they see? Because they're both like sequels or whatever. Like they're both in the same
long-running franchises. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pirates being my favorite franchise,
really.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I just knew you were going to say Alien Covenant.
I thought so too.
I mean, Alien Covenant was the better.
Rick and Morty had a badass Alien Covenant tie-ins.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
We're talking about more stuff.
I like it.
I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.
I'm Justin. JP. I'm JP.
It's been so long you forgot.
Yeah.
Just touching him too good.
Bye-bye.